bet he got that from LaBelle. That was in one of Jean LaBelle's books. Hi guys, my name is Joe and welcome to Fighting Words, the martial arts library. This is a segment I call Media Fight Monday, where I take a fight scene from television, animation, movies, and so on, and I break down the action and then give it a grade based on storytelling value as well as realism. Now, this is a fight scene from Missing in Action 2, The Beginning, which was actually meant to be the first film in the series. And the film that became Missing in Action 1 was actually supposed to be the sequel. However, the director decided that the second movie was actually better than the first, so he turned that into Missing in Action 1, so the thing that was originally supposed to be the first movie became the sequel. You follow that? It's a little... Anyway, this fight scene is between Chuck Norris and Soon-Tek Oh, who is actually a Korean actor. He's playing a Vietnamese prison commandant now. And of course, Chuck Norris is playing an American prisoner of war in Vietnam. As a setup, the commandant has been cruel in his treatment of Norris and his fellow prisoners. Chuck Norris, as a background, primarily came from a Tang Soo Do background initially. He also had a black belt in judo at this time. He had trained with Jean LaBelle. He'd spent some time training with Bruce Lee. And he had formulated his own style. I don't know if that was true by this date, by 1985, but he was definitely on his way there. Soon-Tek Oh, who's got actually quite the history. I'd look it up as far as, film and entertainment, especially on the West Coast. He had a background, according to an article in Black Belt magazine, in Kempo, Kendo, and Judo. As we get into this, all the henchmen have been killed, and Norris's character is holding a gun to Soon-Tek Oh's head. And this is going to mirror a scene earlier in the movie where Soon-Tek Oh, as the evil commandant, tricked a guy into thinking he was going to kill him. Short spoiler, the gun was empty. You see he flinches, but hey, the gun's empty. Side kick and a hook kick for his trouble. Norris throws the gun away. Now, it's interesting to me that in this case they both have their arms in a pretty low position. This could be useful for blocking kicks and attacks to the low line. Soon-Tek Oh with that extended arm position, that can sort of be used to form a barrier of sorts, but it's also not very useful for attacking or putting up a good defense, a flexible defense. Norris has his hands low, like below his waist. This to me indicates that he's probably going to start with kicks, but we'll see. Okay, so with the cut, they are in slightly different positions, but Soon-Tek Oh led off with a kick. Norris responds with a punch to the body. Soon-Tek Oh is parrying it. Ooh, lots of action. Parrying a punch, coming back with some open hand strikes of his own. Norris parrying those, gets his hand caught, he goes for a kick to the thigh. Spinning back fist is missed, spinning back kick does not. Okay, good use of the environment, goes for some back fists. Now they're in this clinched position, which is really unusual. I've actually seen this a lot in Jet Li flicks, believe it or not. Side kick doesn't work, then a bunch of side kicks and round kicks and hook kicks do. He's stretching out his arm with this move. Kicking away. Now they're both sort of smiling like, yeah, I'm going to get the best of you. Punch is deflected. That was what we call a ridge hand strike. That was deflected and repositioned. Soon-Tek Oh got the strike to the body. Looks like a kick to the knee. That was bad. That was bad from a cinematic point of view because Soon-Tek Oh punched at the space that Chuck Norris left when he moved to the side. So that sort of telegraphed what was going to happen. But now he's going for a shoulder throw. He rolls, lands on him with both his legs. He goes for sort of his scissors choke. Now that's a legit choke, but it's difficult to get. Another kick from the ground. I like how they're both sort of wary and maintaining their distance. That was a feint with a shoulder. It's a nice touch. Round kick misses, spin kick misses. Again, their hands are very low, but they are going head to toe with these strikes. Front kick, crescent kick misses, series of blocks and punches. Norris is defending most of them, traps the arm. Now he's going for what's actually called a chicken wing, cross-face chicken wing. I bet he got that from LaBelle. That was in one of Gene LaBelle's books. It puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the shoulders. You can choke someone unconscious from here. Side kick, jumping, spinning back kick. And I think a lot of this, to its credit, is showing, again, more of the character. Like, he could have had him out with that cross-face chicken wing maneuver. He wants to hurt him. This is his revenge, having been a prisoner of this sadist for several years. It's interesting. He could be stealing himself. Round kick, punch, crescent kick. Ooh, that's like a Kung Lee spinning scissors takedown, followed by some kicks on the ground. Kicks are dangerous everywhere, but if you are on the ground taking them, you really don't have anywhere to go. Now, of course, he's just beating the crap out of him. Big John Wayne haymakers. This one's weird to me where he's like reaching into his rib cage and like pulling his rib, and of course he's letting him know this is for all the guys that you've hurt. Now that's effectively the end of the fight. Norris does have the whole thing wired, so we see him walk out of there and then pull out a detonator and make explosions. So, when we're grading this, as far as realism goes, there were definitely some exchanges I didn't like in there. I mean, they weren't getting into the realm of, fantasy, except maybe for that, reaching in and like breaking the guy's rib by just pulling on it. And I don't buy that. I don't buy somebody doing that to a healthy human being. Also, there's a bit of a lack of realism considering that Chuck Norris's character is supposed to have been a prisoner of war for several years, and he's pretty fit. He's able to go toe-to-toe with another fit human being. One thing they'll tell you in the military is if you are captured, try to escape as soon as you can, because the longer you are a prisoner, the worse physical condition you will be in. These guys sort of leaving their arms out there to be captured by the other guy. No. I don't buy that. Still, they didn't do anything that, again, sort of relied on magic or, broke the laws of physics or broke the world that they existed in. So, if C is average, I'm going to give this a C minus. A lot of the stuff there was realistic. But things like, holding on to the guy's arm while you, kick him 7 times, no. That's not going to happen. There's a bit of a mix of both, but I'm going to err on there was enough unrealistic stuff that I'm just going to dock it a bit. And as far as the storytelling goes, I think that was actually pretty good. We see that Norris's character is definitely out for revenge. He proceeds to get more and more of the better of Soon-Tek Oh's character. We see him having opportunities where he could leave the fight or knock him out, and he keeps fighting because he wants to hurt him. He will, when he abandoned the chokehold, that could have dislocated his shoulder as well. Like that's a terrible place to be if you can get somebody there. And yet he preferred to release it, kick to the body, which isn't going to result in being immediately debilitated, and then waited for him to come out so he could beat him up some more. So I think that aspect of it, the idea that Chuck Norris's character is really out for revenge, that's good storytelling. Sort of the expressions that they're both like. I'm not a big fan of Chuck Norris's acting, but Soon-Tek Oh is a legit actor, and sort of the expressions that he's showing through there, I think sort of sell the idea that, despite the fact, they have an understanding. They are communicating through their expressions. And also finally toward the end, we're seeing Soon-Tek Oh take more and more visible damage. Punches to the jaw aren't going to really bloody the nose, but I appreciate the effort that went into it. So as far as storytelling goes, B+. I didn't think it was extraordinary, but it was actually better than I anticipated. So that's all I have for this week, guys. If you would like to sponsor a review, or if you'd like to help support the channel, please consider donating to my Ko-fi account. There's going to be a link to that in the description. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching along. If you like the video, please feel free to like and share. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, feel free to subscribe and get more videos like this. I put out Media Fight Mondays on the first and third Monday of every month. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.